All right, here we go. Hopefully Dave didn't say anything too embarrassing while I was away, but we're watching yet another game, 2v2, Britons and Aztecs. It will be a mirror, MBL and Nicov taking on Liereyy and Heartt. It's Killer B, and I'm joined by the vicious marauder himself, Mr. Dave. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, dude. Yeah, I tried to cut down on the echo, but that failed because it's super windy outside. But happy to have another 2v2 match here. We will see MBL on the bottom left of the map. He's very far from Nicov. You can see the distance between those two players is absolutely ridiculous. They're both squeezed up against the edge of the map. And they'll be taking on Liereyy and Heartt. We will see Britons for MBL. We will see Britons for Liereyy. So a mirror on the left side of the map and a mirror on the right side of the map. Britons and Aztecs on Wololo Kingdoms. We can handle these two civs, right, Dave? We can do this.
I think we can do it. Yeah, I think we can do it.
What a terrible decision. Everybody is dropping the Zach emote. Looks good. Echo stream. Yeah, sorry about that, boys and girls, but welcome and thanks for joining us. We just saw MBL and Nicov take Liereyy and Heartt down a peg. They played a pretty nice team game together. It was kind of a couple mistakes from Heartt that may have turned the game around, but we'll see how this one goes next. Okay, 2v2, Dave. You're playing as Britons. Is there anything else to do other than go into archers here?
Skirmishers, maybe. I mean, MBL's already gone forward and is stealing Lierey's boar, and Lierey's trying to stop this. MBL's scout is actually pretty weak already. He might be in danger of, and he's lost the boar. He's lost the boar. Yeah. Bad news bears for MBL.
Liereyy with a good bit of, I don't know, attention being paid in the front. Whenever you're playing against MBL, you have to worry about being epically lamed. MBL is not going to get the boar. It doesn't look like he got any sheep either. So for now, Liereyy is going to be just fine. His scout is also tougher than MBL's. So maybe we'll see a little counter laming here from Liereyy. Actually, not much on the front of MBL's base. So you're thinking either archers or skirmishers here for the Britons player?
Yeah, I mean, archers basically the standard play. Whether you want to go, I don't think we'll see him go like Drush into archer. Well, see, we say things. I say I don't think we'll see him go Drush, and then he says I Drush immediately when I say that. It's the curse of the caster. I swear to God. I mean, I didn't think he would because they're so far away. The bases, like him and Liereyy, are very far from each other. But I guess he wants to get that forward pressure, go FC, and then get the crossbows coming out.
You know, it's interesting. Oh, MBL almost stealing Lierey's sheep, and Liereyy is Johnny on the spot to save them. That could have been a pretty useful little bit of attack.
Lierey's going to lose a villager to the board. No, he house-tricked it. She's on 4 HP. She never dies.
Oh, man. Yeah, Liereyy dropping a house on top of the board, making it repath, and his villager will go home safe. For all intents and purposes, Liereyy should have lost a villager there, but look at this. He's even going to build that house in the end. He's going to say, oh, what a fine position for a home to be built on top of this little berm. Nice play from Liereyy to do that. Hopefully we can get a slow motion capture of that later on, but I'm sure you guys have seen pro players doing that in their streams, making that boar stopping its aggression on the villager. In the end, Liereyy will save his vill. MBL is going to Drush, taking the 10 extra gold. Lierey's finding all his resources and pushing some deer. So I think it's going to be a just fine Dark Age for Liereyy. He should be able to push MBL back pretty easily if MBL drushes, don't you think? Without a scout. MBL scout is so weak.
Yeah, the drush is just going to be to hold Liereyy in his base, to prevent the... That's usually what a drush would accomplish in this situation. He's just going to run around Lierey's base, hold him in there. Hopefully Liereyy chases him around with his feudal army, and it gives MBL enough time to either wall up or just go castle that much faster because he doesn't have to worry about the aggression.
Nicov is 21 villagers, loom on the way. It does look like Liereyy will be looming up and going up rather soon. MBL did build a militia for now. We'll see if he continues to build them. Go ahead, Dave.
He was... Oh, man. MBL came so close to losing villagers there. As he on garrison, you see 3 of those villagers are very, very weak, and he got that boar in actually quite late. Was taking the deer, but at the same time... it seems like the failed lame has kind of distracted him a bit, and he's a tiny bit slow here to get all his resources into his TC.
Yeah, laming is a double-edged sword, and in this case, MBL getting a little bit bit by having a low HP scout. Militia starting to come out for Heartt. Those are kind of counter militia, or maybe men-at-arms as villagers go over to gold, I suppose. Nicov is just now getting up a barracks. I don't think Nicov is thinking about men-at-arms or a drush. He does have 2 vills on gold, but I would expect this to be archers. I could be totally wrong on that. I usually am. But MBL's drush does come forward. It will be a true drush from MBL. And maybe if he walls a bit, yeah, it looks like he can block most of his base in and maybe try to fast castle, but it seems way too greedy in this situation. We'll see.
This is one of those situations you actually might see the Britons go for knights. If his ally is going to archers, it's usually like sometimes even if the other civ doesn't get bloodlines, sometimes you want to go into knights just to have that unit variety instead of two players both going archers. You see Liereyy is planning on going into archers with the Briton matchup, and he's got to make sure he doesn't lose those villagers on the ranges. Now he's quick walling them. Great move. And he's probably going to go into feudal pressure here on MBL.
Yeah, there you go. Double range is coming up for the red player, Liereyy. He is going to avoid the drush. I don't think it's going to do much, but we'll keep an eye on it. Hard to really do much. He will annoy a couple villagers here. He will keep Liereyy inside of his base. Oh no, Liereyy fighting for a moment. He's going to be fine. Like you said, it's kind of a holding attack, keeping your opponent busy while you kind of wall up. And MBL will be up on 27 villagers. He will be walling toward the TC on the bottom. He'll have safe gold, safe wood, safe berries, and a nice area to farm. So maybe, just maybe, MBL can fast castle. Men-at-Arms, though, from Heartt may be headed toward MBL. There's no point in sending them toward an opponent who has archers. So it looks like he will head those toward the south of the map. The green player is going to try to hit MBL. MBL will be walled some places, but not everywhere.
Yeah, now Lierey's signaling where there's a hole for Heartt to go through. The problem with this, now Heartt's turning around actually.
Yes.
He's going to go back to Nicov space. The problem for this for Heartt is that you have like a 30-second to a minute window when you go a man-at-arms to really do damage. And a lot of the times you want like reinforcements, as in villagers dropping towers or something, to back those up. He's invested quite a bit into these man-at-arms, and I don't see them paying off.
Yeah, at the moment, those men-at-arms are still roaming around to the south of Nikov's area. They are walled out. They're not going to do much because Nikov's still pumping out archers. Heartt's going fletching. Lierey's going fletching, and Nicov is into Heartt's base now. And Heartt is kind of caught a little wrong-footed. He does have skirmishers coming out of one range, but the eagle here might make the difference in this fight. We'll see. Interestingly, Nicov is killing the archer first. I think he should go after the skirms while he can, but it looks like Nicov will go back. I think MBL is getting away with a fast castle here, Dave. I think he's getting away with it.
Yeah, he's definitely going to get away with it. I mean, there hasn't been anything in his eco. There's a scout running under the TC, and that's about it. Double range from him might drop a TC as soon as he gets to Castle Age, just to try and get that eco advantage. No, he doesn't look like he has enough wood, so he's just going to go into crossbows right away. Most likely.
It's going to be very difficult for Liereyy for a couple minutes. As MBL will hit the Castle Age, he'll have a range bonus, he'll have an upgrade bonus. He should be able to push Liereyy around on that side of the map. Nicov on the other side has gone back home. He had to build a defensive tower, which really surprises. I guess he didn't have to. That's probably a prophylactic tower. But a tower up there on Nikov's gold, which might slow his TCs a bit. Double ranges down for Heartt. Couple skirms, couple archers, +1 damage already in. Mine is going skirms. Nicov is adding eagles. So we will keep an eye on that side of the map.
Yeah, all the players seem pretty content to just wall up their bases, stay safe. Except for Liereyy. Liereyy hasn't really walled that much. I mean, his base is still pretty secure at the moment, and I don't think he's going to have too much trouble in the next few minutes from MBL. MBL still needs to get the upgrades going. He still needs to increase his army amount, and Liereyy should have enough to fight him off until he clicks up.
Yeah, MBL at the moment upgrading crossbowmen. He does have a small group of archers, soon to be crossbows going forward. He will have Pretty good range advantage and damage advantage over his opponent, but just 5 units at the moment. And we do see mostly walled in Liereyy, who may finish off his walls before MBL gets there, and we do see a fully walled in Heartt. So 5 crossbows, probably not going to upset the apple cart, but we'll see. The next groups are coming out 2 by 2. No second town center for MBL just yet. Really strapped for resources after that fast castle. And we'll see what he can get done. Nicov, in the meantime, was a little more aggressive in the feudal age. He is going to be a little bit behind Liereyy clicking up, but a little bit ahead of Heartt by the looks of it.
You were talking about how far away MBL and Nicov are, so that hurts them in the fact that they can't help each other defend as easily, but it also helps them in that if, let's say, Liereyy is attacking MBL, it takes him forever to go over and help Heartt to attack Nicov, and whereas MBL, you see, he started heading towards Heartt, and now he's back towards Liereyy, and he might catch those villagers out, actually, on the stone and the wood from Liereyy.
Yeah, nice decision from MBL to kind of turn that army around. He's going to walk right into Lierey's eco and grab a couple villagers. Never hurts.
Oh, that's not good. He's going to kill a bunch.
MBL at the moment without fletching, without Bodkin, but he does catch these villagers off guard. He's going to grab 3. Could have grabbed more with upgrades. Now he's going to get chased back by Liereyy. Lierey's got bigger numbers here, and he's also got equal damage. 5 damage for MBL, 5 damage for Liereyy. MBL not getting the upgrades yet. Does have a blacksmith down at home.
He opted for a second. Yeah.
Ah, I see.
That's probably what you want to do if you go fast castle into range units. You probably want to go for an extra TC if you're gonna go that early. Because you just can't make as high of an impact early as if you were going for like 1 TC knights.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I'm watching actually a pretty interesting fight. Almost full skirmisher army here from Heartt. Doing some damage, I would say, to Nikov's group of archers. Nicov on the way to castle, Heartt on the way to castle. Liereyy hits castle just about now, and he will be able to go crossbow in just a moment. So Liereyy will now push out and maybe counterattack MBL. MBL's 3rd TC is coming as we speak. Liereyy had to tower up his back gold. So I would expect his extra TCs to take a little bit longer. He needs to either buy or gather some stone. Looks like Heartt will be leaving Nikov's base, but he's kept Nicov quite busy, and he's transitioned into archers, soon castle age, and crossbowmen there for Heartt.
What a great decision from Nicov to go into those extra few eagles. Really, really helped him there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Eagle Scouts still at this point in the game, but pretty damn resistant to skirmisher fire. Absolutely. Yeah, so we have Liereyy pushing out. He's got 27 military, much bigger military than MBL. Well, about 10 units bigger. MBL running across the map will remass more units at home. Still 2 ranges for MBL there. 3 TCs. MBL's villager count is 46. Liereyy back at home is on 3 ranges and 1 town center. He's taken a bit of stone, so he will eventually... Oh, there's the second TC. He'll eventually get some more TCs down on that side. If you had to say who's winning between Nicov and Heartt, what would be your feeling at this point?
It's pretty stalematey over there. I mean, Heartt can't really push on the front side. He has to come in through that back side. Especially once Nicov gets these upgrades here. And that's not a great place to go because Nikov's resources are all on the right portion of his base, so it's gonna be a stalemate over there, I think.
Yeah, those guys are both teching into crossbows by the looks of it. Mr. Nicov has gone to Eagle Warrior. Crossbowman with +1/+1 for now for Nicov. Just a little bit strapped on resources to keep upgrading those units. Lierey's going to push in toward MBL's base, but MBL's built a really tight triangle of town centers here. And I just don't think that these crossbows will get much done. MBL has not dropped a defensive siege workshop, but he is continuing to build archers, one would think. And eventually he should be able to overwhelm this army. No, a couple elite skirmishers there from MBL, but he should be able to trap this army, I would think, at some point.
Love what Lierey's doing here. Just killing the farms. He can't pick off villagers. Just kill the farms. He knows MBL's composition right now is pretty wood heavy, so anything you can do is nice. And now he's going to get out of dodge.
Yeah, I like Liereyy nearly opening up the back door just in case he has to retreat. He wants to be ready to knock that palisade down and walk out on his own terms. It does look like Nicov is coming over with eagles, and he wants to double up on Lierey's army. Liereyy needs to get out. If he knew that that Nicov was coming, he'd be getting out as fast as he can. And it looks like he's going to go now.
That might be enough crossbows to deal with that. Like, it might be enough. As long as he stays away from MBL, he could catch that whole eagle army out. But now he's decided to go in. Not sure this is a great decision from Liereyy. This might be the equivalent of what we saw last game. We saw Heartt do, where he loses his whole crossbow army.
Yeah.
This is not looking great.
This is rough. MBL literally pincering that whole army by himself, and then the Eagles will come in to soak up some damage. Oh, MBL knocking down a palisade to let some of those crossbows out, but they're going to stand and fight, and they're going to stand and die. Lots of arrow fire being soaked up by the Eagles. MBL picking off reinforcements, coming in from the front side. He should get this army from Liereyy for pretty cheap. Liereyy will kill a lot of eagles here, but his crossbows are dead meat. That's going to leave Heartt, though, to his own devices. And look at Heartt, Dave.
Workshop, though. There's a siege workshop there. That's making me very nervous for Heartt at the moment. Mangonel, though, only at 22%, so going to do a lot of damage to Nicov here. How many villagers are going to go down? Crazy.
And, you have to wonder if if Heartt and Liereyy were planning that. If Liereyy was staying because he was kind of keeping the attention there and trying to bait him in.
Guaranteed no. I mean,
I have some fantasies, Dave. I have some fantasies.
You can speculate all you want, but no one's gonna lose their 40 crossbow army to kill like 7 villagers.
It was beautiful teamwork. More and more eagles coming out for the blue player. He's going to be able to basically push Heartt away. Heartt did some damage, but I don't think his army is the right composition. A mono army is just so difficult against an army with a meat shield and crossbows behind it. It does...
I'm surprised here.
Yeah, you think he's going to win that?
Look at him go, man.
Yeah, still taking down units. We do have +2/+1 for the green player, Nicov, with just +1/+1. Slowly, those crossbows will be dwindled. Those eagles are getting low. It's a decent fight in the end. But you have to remember, Nicov was busy helping clean up Liereyy, so he's kind of dealing with Heartt with one hand and then helping his teammate with the other. 5 town centers now for MBL. Does that surprise you to see MBL drop 5 TCs?
Well, if you're going to go up to Castle Age like that and start producing range units, you might as well, right? And the Britain TCs are cheap. They do cost half the amount of wood, so easier to do that with the Brits. I'm surprised he can sustain 5 TCs.
Yeah, MBL, there's no limit to how big of a boom MBL can pull off. Nicov pushing back with Mangonels and Eagles now. We will see the green player going back. Nicov at the moment not floating a lot of resources. MBL with a bit of gold in the bank. Heartt with a bit of gold. Liereyy with a bit of food and gold to work with. Liereyy continuing to pump out +2/+1 crossbows, but MBL is now in front of Lierey's base, and he's doing the same thing. He's killing farms. He's getting back at Lierey's farms for what damage Liereyy did to his farms.
Heartt is playing with fire here, trying to micro these eagles near that mangonel. And the eagles, with the armor upgrades from Castle, are just so tough to take down for those crossbows.
Yeah, in the end...
But he did it.
Yeah, in the end he did it. Sniping with the Eagle Scout, taking the mangonel down. Heartt's going to push Nicov back a bit. Nicov at his base is on 1, 2, 3 TCs at the moment. Heartt back at home is probably on the same, but we'll see more.
And is going imp.
Oh yeah, and he's adding in barracks, so Eagles coming from Heartt.
Great boom from Heartt. A really good economy there. Same with Liereyy. Like, both have really solid economies, and Lierey's kind of stabilized at his base. He might be clicking up soon. And I think they have the advantage here.
Interesting. Yeah, Liereyy rebuilding up that group of crossbows. MBL still has elite skirmishers here, still pestering away at his opponent. More ranges coming from Liereyy. Britain's player continuing to build crossbows, probably into arms, wouldn't surprise me. It does look like Heartt will make a transition as he goes to Imperial Age, floating a ton of gold, has a good bit of food in the bank, like you said, a nice economy with 85 villagers. Has 5 barracks down now, and he's going to start pumping out the Eco Warriors while he can. Upgrades right now are kind of lacking, but he'll continue to roll those in. Chainmail armor on the way. I wonder if he's doing a double blacksmith in this case. No, just one blacksmith here from the green player.
So Nicov has made a stone wall forward. Kind of needs to make more of those. Luckily for him, his base is very compact, so he can save villagers and build up Eagle Warriors if Heartt decides to raid him. If Heartt goes to MBL, MBL might be in trouble. If he sends Eagles to MBL's Eco, that really will be trouble for MBL.
Yeah, it does look like the green player is headed straight south to see if he can hit MBL. MBL is on his way up to Imp. I just wanted to check what TC it is. It's one of the front TCs, but it's going to be fine. We're not going to see that go down before the upgrade is in. MBL still building skirms. Go ahead, Dave.
Nicov says wall. I go to MBL's point of view. There's walls everywhere. when your ally says wall, you wall. You don't half-ass it. But there is a hole. There is a hole, and MBL's patched it now, so the Eagles cannot get into his base. Great jump from MBL to just send out 12 villagers and immediately stonewall. No fooling around with that.
Yeah, MBL will get stone walls, and that actually was a good result, because I don't think Nicov, well, Nicov has a good number of Eagles. Nikov's not nearly as walled up as MBL is. Like you said, MBL just sending every villager who has a hammer out to wall up, and he's gonna stop the bleeding. Those Eagles from the green player are gonna have to find somewhere else to go. Nicov hits the Imperial Age. He's going Elite Eagle Warrior. Liereyy is fighting uphill, but he will clean up and take over a hill for the moment. Liereyy on the way to Imp, but of course MBL will be there first. Bracer and Arbalest on the way for MBL.
So is this going to be a forward siege workshop from Liereyy here? Is he going to push MBL really hard? Mining camp. Okay. Give me a second here. I got a phone call.
All right. Barracks coming down now for Liereyy. He is going to start taking gold in the front of MBL's base. MBL with not a whole lot of map control, but he should have a good ability to produce a bunch of Arbalest. 22 military at the moment for him. MBL will have a massive range advantage with 10 range at the moment, while his opponent just hit Imp now. So it's 9 range for Liereyy and 10 range for MBL. Green player pushing in with Elite Eagles, +1 damage on those. Yeah, it looks like actually somewhat similar upgrades. Green player has gotten the defensive upgrades earlier. Nicov getting the damage upgrades a bit earlier. Those two guys trading blows, but Nicov should be able to reinforce that area and hold it down. Should be okay for him as Heartt goes back. Heartt looks like he's going to try to join up with his teammate, who has a good number of Arbalest now. But we'll see. Liereyy should turn around and fight this, because he can win this fight pretty easily. He's going to wait until he's on the top of the hill, turn around, and take that damage. One wonders what Liereyy is up to inside of these barracks. Well, it's got to be... Well, it doesn't have to be, but I would think that he's going to go into the militia line. He does have... Nope, MBL has men-at-arms coming. Liereyy at the moment has not gone into anything just yet. A couple forward barracks just in case those Eagles head in that direction. Green player Heartt is still trying to find a place to do damage. He hasn't really been able to do much with his Eagles yet. He's been running around and working really hard, but not quite able to get in. Has opened up a hole on the other side, though. So he might be able to get his Eagles up there to the north. Nicov at the moment, 21 military, 55 military from Heartt. Just overwhelmingly sized numbers here for Heartt. Should be able to knock down a few buildings at least. Got to keep that army alive. Very, very valuable group of Eagle Warriors there. Defensive castle from MBL, continuing to pump out those Arbalest while he can. It is Arbs, and it is now going to be the men-at-arms longswordman upgrade on the way for the red player, who's also sending Arbalest across the map. Interestingly, toward the Eagles. He's going to join up with Heartt. That's because they're teammates, and they will double down on Nicov on this side. This is Killer B. Thanks for being here, guys. Sorry, I was kind of ignoring the chat a bit while we were talking with Dave. Dave's off for a moment taking a call, but that's the Vicious Marauder himself. We do have Eagle Warriors and Arbalest working together here. They probably, well, they might just stand and try to fight this castle. But they probably need to, they probably can synergize a bit here and do a lot more damage to Nikov's economy. In the meantime, MBL might have a moment to either push out or come back to help his teammate, and it looks like he will come back with a good number of Arbs to try to fight 2v1 on this side. Trying to bolster Nicov on this side of the map. It does look like Liereyy will have more and more two-handed swordsmen now. He will have a couple of Trebs on the front, knocking down the front of MBL's base. And a nice score lead for Liereyy and Heartt at the moment. Trade, 0 for MBL and Nicov, 8 trade cards out for Heartt. Just starting to get it going on that side. These games have been so close, says Lou. Yeah, indeed. We're watching pro players at the highest level of the game, I would say, and a really nice set of 2v2. Dave and I were talking earlier. Liereyy and Heartt are a really special team. They play so damn well together, and they have absolutely been fun to watch. Daddy Ray Jepsen, indeed. Instead of Gally Ray Jepsen, Daddy Ray Jepsen is here. Good to see you. Looks like we will see a castle coming down from Heartt, taking over some extra gold here, and some map control. Decent little hill position as well. Should be very nice for him. Heartt has 39 military still. Nicov is still just on 15. Nicov hasn't been able to keep the eagle production going. But Nicov is saying, it's over. I can't get that third gold. That castle is up. That extra gold is out of reach for Nicov, who's on 0 gold at the moment. How many miners does he have? Nicov at the moment has stone miners, but that is it. So he's really hurting right now. Can't keep up eagle production. And there's just really not a whole lot of opportunity for him on that side. Liereyy will pack up the trebs and continue to push forward, or maybe start running away as MBL pushes out. But the eagles could be a huge problem. We could see some eagles head over in this direction. Elite skirmishers and rams are not going to stop a group of eagles. Even just a couple of them coming in now should be able to do some good damage. Maybe we're talking about a half a dozen, 8 eagles should be able to do some serious damage and really dwindle this push down. Let's see. Killer Bee, you left us alone with Dave. That was vicious. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Hope you don't have abandonment issues for the rest of the stream. Elite Eagle Warriors are being created by Nicov still. He's probably having to use the market a bit to do so. His extra gold is still taken over here by Heartt. Heartt and Liereyy still have a nice team army there. MBL is pushing out with some siege towers and some rams. We'll see what they can get done. Eagles still continue to stream their way over. MBL's army here is not exactly a bludgeoning force. It's kind of a wimpy push out. But maybe he's thinking he can distract his opponents enough to give Nicov some breathing room. But I don't think that's the case. I think Liereyy and Heartt have this game. They're holding it with both hands. And I don't foresee them dropping this win. But we'll see. Nicov pushes out to an extra gold that is awfully close to Heartt's base. Heartt, for the moment, doesn't see him. So maybe we will we'll continue to see eagles just walk right past Nicov. This is kind of a little bit of a saving grace, I would say, for Mr. Nicov. Nimino, golf with friends. Come. A little bit of golf going on. Hello, Ivik. Good to see you. Yeah, 1 siege tower out there for MBL. He's still trying to push on this side. He needs to win back that front gold, I suppose. Liereyy continuing to get damage in with these trebs. Just killing farms now, but still. Those trebs have knocked down a castle. And now they're going to start knocking down farms. MBL, for the moment, does have a little foothold on this hill. Does have a little bit of a gold economy there. Liereyy will continue to come forward with elite skirmishers. MBL's ready to say GG. So is Nicov, and we will give the GG as well. No need to see a ton of stats there. It's Heartt taking over the gold piles and basically doing a good job not to throw his early eagles away. You can kind of overextend yourself sometimes, and Heartt there just waited for his moment, took over some extra golds. Great teamwork from him and Liereyy. A really nice 2v2 win for those guys. MBL and Nicov will go down, and the series will go to a 1-1 tie. Pretty damn good match there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it.